Well, I'm not their darn brain surgeon, and I'm not even a doctor. But something just came up listening to Crystal Blue and Levette shooting things around, how the Y is actually stretching out to different letters in different languages, and wherever you put that Y, it'll always go down and over to reach the next letter evaluation. So I was thinking, if you can give me a vibration that looks like a cell, I need a vibration that looks like a cell. So you take the vibration that looks like a cell, and then you take another vibration, okay, that is the counteraction or the lightning bolt that will penetrate the actual shape that is vibrated in the sand, cutting through the cell. We take the music, we get a box of sand, okay? We take one music, we get a box of sand, and we play that music until we find a design of a cancer cell. Then we find another music that takes the cancer cell in the design and in the vibration, and we play that sound over it, and we watch to see if the sand splits apart or breaks apart. One of the things that happened to me yesterday is I was taking one of my drinks, which I mix, concoct a few ingredients, a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and I put the little bit of this in, and all of a sudden I shake it, and it's not sticking together. There was something wrong. It wasn't coming stuck together in my drink. I put moringa with a protein shake. When I mixed them together, it wouldn't stick anymore. All of a sudden, this morning, I feel a little bit different because of that. I've never done that before. Okay? Now, whether that is anything or not anything, what I do have to say is play the music that goes against the grain. When you go against the grain, you will correct without using any medication, without using any chemotherapy. Your chemotherapy is inside the good vibration. The second thing to understand is the fish. On top, it becomes the barn. And on the bottom, the smile says it's alive. Anything round is standing straight up. It has to stand straight up in order for the round to go up. The other one has a fixation. It has a tail to it. Here's the fish. I put two eyes, becomes two sides, becomes the barn. Burning down the house. Here's your cell. Here's your Y. Now, in your Y, what we have to understand is there's always Y and Y. This side and this side, that side and this side. There will be a division in the Y, so it'll always be Y and Y, never more than 4. I know that's a little off the gate. Now, I'm going to mention 4. One thing about 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you have 5, okay, it talks about the heart of each one. When there's 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 hearts of each one, you end up getting the 5 hole in the center over here. You bring these two together, this area here will now split and join to the next Y, 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 and Y. And this area will be your 9 hole between here and here. This is what the shape has to look like. The crows in New Zealand, I keep talking about New Zealand. New Zealand crows, we must never forget the New Zealand crows or anything about New Zealand. We're going to try and keep this short. I was making fun about San Francisco, the sand, the turtles, the fran of the sand, which is 6. Now, why do we get 6? Because we stretched out 2, we stretched out 2, we stretched out 2, and the ball went over the center of 4. This ball has to go over the center of 4, the square it's in. The square it's in. See, when we make the square it's in, what happens to this circle? Well, don't look at this. That's just my artwork. That's just my artwork. Everybody asks, how come there's the little extra at the end? How come there's a little extra at the end of the letter? Because it goes outside the letter. This is the center of 2 sides. This is what the center takes up. The 2 sides only begin here, right here. It begins here to this side, here to this side. The center is bigger than anything else. Everything else is only a part because it goes around in diameter. Now, I can't explain what it is right now. I know what direction I am going. I just don't have an answer to the expression I made. 2 down, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. 2 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 1 down. We had to bring both sides together. this angle is what separated the lightning bolt. The corner, you see this? In this design over here, this shows the corner. It comes up from the bottom all the way to the top, splits over to the left, goes over to the right. Okay, it's almost like climbing the ladder. You're on two sides of the numbers. Now there's other things in numbers. When you talk about number 5 on a short stick of 2, which means I take me and I go to the end of who I am. But since I'm starting in the middle, I go to the middle of something that is next. So when 1, in the center of 1 from the 5 position, okay, which actually is a 3 position, 1 and 5 are the outside. Wow, that's pretty much funny because the 5 position is actually 0.5 because it's half of everything that it divides by going left and right. 5 is an area, 0.5 is a placement in an area, and there's usually only 1 point. If there's more than 1 point, it means because there's a little branch sticking out. Now, I'm not too happy with what's going on in this video. I started it off strong. There's a lot more to speak about, but it's very tedious. Okay, it's very tedious stuff that I have to figure out numbers and what they do. This becomes a corner here and here. This folds over and drags to the corner on the other side of Rubik's Cube. Hangman and balance. Understanding, should we go out in this angle here? I went out 3 areas up 1, 3 areas up 1, 3 areas up 1. By going up 3 areas plus 1, we have an extra square in the center that gives a separation that will entitle me to create a new kind of design that will tell me some other kind of answer. The shin, the center, the shin, the halfway point ends up turning into a 7 and an E or a 3. It has to. This is the corner. This is the, this is the Y part. This is actually over here, but it's only one part. 1, 2, 3 up. You go 3 up, you get to the corner, you go 1 out here, and you make your design for this box. This box, you make your one design for this box. It's a little confusing. It's hard to explain. It's my 3rd video. I canceled 2 because I didn't like them. But just leave it as a good vibration. Thank you.